Okay, day 1041 off the grid, and here I am at Castlepoint. But here's the Castlepoint Cemetery. Only a little Cem. It's got some of the early settlers here. Not much at all here. Thomas Guthrie. The street that we're staying in is named after him or one of his relatives. There's a few Guthries here, I think. Lovely chainsaw. But I'm here today for a very specific reason. I'm here to record some overdubs. Well, a whammy solo actually, on cemetery days. I was going to do it in this spot here and lay out the gear on this slab, but it's too open at this corner now. Something's changed since we were here last. So instead, I've opted for over here. In this little nook here, you can see I've set up the gear. Let's go in, eh? Good timing with that chainsaw. So here's my setup. The ACC, of course. Of course, we're going to have the ACC, the Bluetooth speaker, the Digitech sound card, and of course the star of the show today, the whammy box. This has served a dual purpose here at Castlepoint because I used it last night as a signal for the lighthouse capture gun to modulate when it was capturing the Castlepoint beam. But today it's being used in its intended role as a musical instrument, because that's what it is. I guess it's a very, very simple monophonic synth. This sounds somewhat like a guitar when you're doing whammy bar tricks, but it also sounds like Sweep from Sooty and Sweep being tortured. Well, that can't be a bad thing, can it? You're hearing a little preview of the song, aren't you? Aren't you lucky? Now, I found out something interesting today. The battery in it, this one here, is quite an old one, and I felt like I depleted it somewhat last night running this for a long time during my lighthouse capture. So I took along a fresh 9-volt battery. This was one we picked up in Nelson on the winter solstice 2016 mission, but it's fresh. I put it in the whammy box, but it performed completely differently. It dropped the oscillator down a good octave, so I ended up with something which sounded like a bass guitar whammy. Quite interesting. This battery was never new right from the start. In fact, we're just coming up to the whammy solo now, so let's hear it. So I did 2 takes of the normal range of the whammy tone, and then I did 1 take of the bassy one. So I'm going to play them all together. And here it is. It's an easy way to get a guitar-like solo. Obviously, if you're someone like Kerry King out of Slayer or Rick Ross, who was formerly the guitarist in Death, I mean, those guys spend a lot of their time soloing, fiddling with their whammy bars. So, and Rick Ross especially, his entire solos are usually just whammy bars. So you can do that with this box without having to lug along a guitar. Sounds slightly artificial. Oh, there's Ben Morton doing his voiceover bit. You'll hear this properly when it's released. I may actually release this as the internet track this year for the summer solstice. I'm quite motivated to do that. We've done so many versions of Cemetery Days, and I think the one that we did in Nelson on the vernal equinox of, what year was that? Maybe 2012, don't quote me on that. The Cemetery Days EP was pretty much the definitive version, but this one ain't bad. Chainsaw. So I guess we'll leave it about here, but yeah, something cool to do on Castlepoint. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but through the trees over there, where's my finger point? Out there is the lighthouse up on Lighthouse Rock. I wrote a song about that once. I wrote a song about this cemetery, you know. But I thought, yeah, just a little solo, so do a little cemetery. And it is Castlepoint, and yeah. We did record Cemetery Days, this version, in the Old Gorge Cemetery on the Beltane of 2014. But the companion tracks that make up this release were actually recorded at Castlepoint on the deck of where we're staying right now, back in 2014. So it all links up, you know what I mean? I like to link things up. That's what we do with Beltane, you know? Looks like the song's finished. So am I. Off for second drinks. Irish styles. Yeah, it helps.